So I wanted to do a video demoing the save game system that I use, which is entirely based on basic save object. It's a very fundamental system, very simple, but if you use it the way I've implemented it, you can pretty much do all sorts of fancy things, including complete game save and load state, like in-game. So I'm going to show you that in this tutorial. So first I want to actually create a little setup to save. This is set up from a previous tutorial. I loaded it, I had saved it to my hard disk, and I loaded it using basic save object. You probably recognize it, where I was shooting all these things and blowing them up. So this is actually saved over several days using basic save object. I'm going to create a little mover system. I have a 3D scripting system that I created. It's like 3D Kismet basically. Coded everything from scratch myself. And this is for a mover. So this thing represents something that's going to move an object. So it needs to know its target. So I'm telling it its target is this. This blue thing says what's the destination of, once the mover gets activated, where should its target go? And I want it to go directly under it a little bit, because I'm going to make it so it can incrementally move. But how do we stimulate this mover to do its action? I have buttons that I created. So these little things, these represent buttons. You shoot them and they do their action. So it needs to know what its target is, and its target is going to be the mover. So it activates the mover, and then the mover activates this object and moves it down a little bit. I need to tell it that it can run multiple times, and I'll demo this now. So actually I'm going to get here faster. Control F10 to start from where the camera is. So look how it moves, right? Again, I coded how the mover works from scratch too. Everything I did from scratch just so it would actually work the way I wanted it to. Notice, a bit of a side effect, it just keeps going down. What if we want it to go up? We should create another mover, because I haven't implemented a feature to make things go back and forth yet. That's not hard, just haven't gotten to it. So let's make another mover, and this one needs its own button. Notice how this doesn't take very long. So this button is going to target this mover. No, what should I control? Yeah, it's going to target this mover. This mover is also going to target the thing, but its blue thing, we want it to go up, right? Not down. We want it to incrementally move it up. The reason I'm doing this and showing this to you is because I'm going to show you that you can save in-game the actual position and status of moving objects too if you want. I'm showing you basically you can really do anything with basic save object. I didn't think it could be this powerful when I first started using it, but it actually is. I need to make sure that this button knows that it can be toggled. Yeah, alright, so, Control F10. So again, this is, in all of my videos, it's all unedited footage. I don't edit anything, so the saving, loading, going into the editor, coming out of it, that's all real time. That's all how it actually looks to me too. I don't cut anything out, and that's how fast basic save object can be if you code it appropriately. So look how I can completely control the movement. If I actually hit the button, I can actually completely control. I'm going to show you my aiming system. So look how, so we're lowering it so that, well, I have to get over here. We're lowering the rock so we can get on, right? Now it's gone. So we're going to hit this other switch to make it come back up, right? Now I'm going to do a save, right? So observe, this is the current position of the ball. Now I'm on the object. I'm going to hit Alt-Q to save. I'm going to fall off, go over here, whatever, and then hit Alt-L to load, and I'm right back there, right? That's how fast it can be. Of course, this is a relatively simple level, but basic save object can be really fast. So I want to save while it's moving if I can. A little hard to tell now. So anyway, we made it. Actually, I think it was moving that time, wasn't it? It's hard to tell. But anyway, so you get the idea. So I notice also the momentum of the ball gets saved. So I'm all going off at that angle. I saved. You can tell it's skipped for a little bit. Hit L, Alt L. Look, I kept my momentum. Alright, so you can save momentum and everything. Now what about this? These destroyable things. So we had notice how we destroyed a few while we were trying to shoot the button, and those ones stayed gone. But I'm going to make it more obvious. So let's make a structure for ourselves. And then I'm going to show you that you can actually save complicated in-game stuff like this. So look at this structure. Try to memorize this. Try to memorize this formation. It's pretty obvious because this goes all the way through the object, this trench, and it allows me to get on top, right? So look at this structure, and I'm going to save as I'm falling. Now let's leave. So now look, the whole structure's back. This platform is back in its starting position. Now I'm going to go in-game as if I'd started a fresh game. So everything is at its standard positions. There's no way I'm getting on top of that object. Hit Alt-L, watch what happens. Oh, it's so good. I just so fast loaded the entire state of the game, and where is the platform? It's way up in the sky, right? Which is where I'm using, I turned off gravity so I could show you. Look at how up it is. That was not its starting position, right? All that data, this entire formation, everything, just using basic save object and the system that I'm going to show you the basic code for. I did all of this using just that, nothing fancy. You can do it too for your game. This entire complicated save state where there's destroyed things that are no longer there, there's buttons that are in on state and off state, like that one's on, that one's off. That wasn't true at level start. At level start they're both off, see? But when I go in game, and then I load, and look, I kept my momentum from that fall. This one's on, that one's off, that thing's in the sky. So this is a complete save state, just using basic save object in a 3D game. You actually can do instantaneous save states in 3D games. It's not that hard. It even works with shooting. So I'm going to shoot this bullet and save before it hits. So see that bullet, right? Watch. So you can save shooting, you can save everything basically. Now I want to show you a combat scene, just to give you a different flavor of saving and loading and why it's actually really fun to have a save feature. So I'm gonna start this combat sequence, and I have to defend, I have to shoot off all these critters, and I better save soon. I'm gonna save now. It wasn't a good time to save at all. To start that again. I like my flying particles. Alright, so let's try this again. Alright, so I'm going to save now, or I'm more likely to actually live to tell about it, and try to kill a few. Okay, that didn't work. So I loaded. Look, you see, there were still bullets flying in the air, so the bullets behind me still recreated themselves, and I kept my momentum, and I can just keep playing. So in a 3D game, you can have instantaneous save and load. That was a very terrible place to save. Let's save over here. You can have instantaneous save and load states in 3D games. It's just, I guess, developers find that it's complicated for some. It wasn't a good place to save, was it? Let's start over. Developers, for whatever reason, don't do it very often, but in the UDK, in the Unreal Engine, you absolutely can do entirely complete save states like that. So you watch. I'm like reloading constantly. So you absolutely can. I gotta concentrate to not die. Oh, I lived. You absolutely can. God! I keep saving right before bullets hit me. Problem is, when I hit Alt Q, I stop my momentum a little bit like that. I have to learn to hit Alt Q and keep my momentum on the keyboard. So let's try this again. So my goal is gonna be to try to actually finish this battle somehow in a reasonable amount of video time. So I did a very important save that time. That was why it was important, because I just died. But look, entire save state feature in the UDK. Like, 'cause now you can have like really hard oh, I know why I'm bumping into an invisible one. You can have really hard combat sequences as long as you can have an instantaneous save feature. You know, like in older 2D games like Doom, and even in Quake, you could have like instantaneous saving and loading, so you could have hard sequences because you could just load. I don't actually know if did Quake allow you to do instant, or was it checkpoint? Definitely in Doom 2 you could do instant. But this is in 3D. This is modern times, post-processing engines, everything, and you can still have totally instantaneous saving and loading, so that combat sequence I just did, you saw it was pretty hard to do, First of all, with fraps running, and it's hard to do anyway. I actually usually die many times doing that sequence, and yet it's that guy was cloaked. And yet it's still fun because you can keep retrying, but it's one life, right? I didn't keep restarting at a checkpoint and have to walk back to the battle arena. Ow. It was instant saving and loading. And so now you have this feeling of continuity because this ball that keeps reloading has never died. You can only die once in my game. And so you have to get good. You have to be a good player and get better and better, and the levels get progressively harder, but you have saving and loading, so it's not as much of a pain. So look, I just did it, and I had that saving and loading. And look at how fast it is. Ready? Load time. It's very fast. So I thought that was pretty cool. One more cool thing, you can even have the saving and loading last when you turn the computer off. So on my hard drive, I have these files of the different levels, and that former one we did, this one, see how I had already loaded a previous level. All this geometry was gone. But remember that save game from this level? Alt L. Remember that how we saved when we were shooting one thing? It's all back. And that thing's back in the sky, and that button's turned on. Everything is back, and I had loaded a completely different level. I can't show you in fraps, but I could turn my computer off, restart it, and start this game engine, and then hit Alt-L, and all this would be right back again. It's complete and total save state, even with the computer turned off, and a hard drive removed, and then plugged back in again. You can do this in Unreal Script. I'm showing it all right here. You just saw it. And I'm giving you the basic code, the format to use to do this yourself, and a few key tips as to how to make it actually work correctly. So, enjoy! Okay, one more time. Oh, so remember that other level we just played? I can show the last save from that one. So here we are in game. We started over, right? This is a fresh round with no saving. So all these critters are back. Hit Alt L. Watch what happens. I'm back, right? Remember there was that one guy left last time before I finished? Complete and total saving and loading. Turn the computer off, turn it back on, load the level, all of it, using one or two functions, basic save and load object. How you set up the structure to organize the utilization of those two functions is what I'm showing you in my code, but you can do it all. In modern times, 3D games, you can do it. Complete and total instant saving and loading. Loading everything. And again, I'm actually loading the levels too. Oops, this is the wrong level. Remember this one? This is from a previous video. Wrong level though. I want to quickly load the other one again. Remember this one? We just did it. Hit Alt L. It's all back. Oh, it's so good. It's all back. So, total instant saving and loading. Enjoy!